TMZ, Akademiks, and a few other people are aiding and abetting criminals and police.
Akademiks is aiding
and abetting.
And abetting criminals and police. And him, my opinion, is actively trying to help an active police investigation right this second.
Akademiks is?
100%. 100. Even if he don't know that's what's happening.
The following video will examine the Tekashi and Akademiks situation by analyzing a scene from Scarface, a classic which should be within the scope of all hip-hop fans. 3 main characters to note and who or what they represent. The first is Tony. He's represented by power. And why? Because he has the gun. He is law enforcement, the state, or public opinion. Second is Frank, the artist, the entertainer, Tekashi69. And third is Mel, the media, the reporter, DJ Akademiks. Before we get started, let me give you a reductive explanation of the scene. Tony works for Frank. He's proven himself to be a handful, so Frank hires shooters to kill him that night. He's sitting across from Mel, the crooked cop who tried to extort Tony earlier before the shooting. And that's it. This is just about this scene and not the entire arc of the film. I'm also well aware of the fact that Mel is the police, so he can easily be represented by the federal government. But remember, the crime within this room is Frank and Mel conspiring to eliminate Tony. Now let's start with the phone call.
You gonna answer, Frank?
It must be Elvira. She got mad after we left the club, you know.
I tell her you're not here, okay?
No, it's all right. Talk to her. Hello. It's all right. I'm going to go home in an hour. Don't worry.
Hey, Frank. You a piece of shit.
Tony, what are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about, you fucking cockroach.
What are you talking about?
This is important because it just about confirms Tony's suspicion. Frank gets a call from his goon to let him know that Tony's assassination didn't go as planned. Obviously, Tony's in the room. He can see how awkward Frank is behaving. I would say that this brings him to about a 95% chance of killing Frank. The phone call is proof. Whatever they have on Tekashi, whatever they're building their case around, it's all the confirmation they needed. Also, don't forget, it incriminates his partner sitting across from him. And I want you to notice Ernie, who's Frank's muscle, standing behind him as if he's next in line. We'll get to him later.
A man ain't got his word. It's a cockroach.
Man, we're going to do something, will you?
It's your tree, Frank. You're sitting in it.
It's your tree, Frank. You're sitting in it. The media thinks they're outside of the situation. They think their consequences lie in imprisonment like it applies for the entertainer. And since you can't legally prove anything against him, Akademiks gets to sit there with his arms folded without a care in the world. I also think that Mel's refusal to help is Akademiks' drive to continue to glorify the nonsense. Since he feels there's no real danger, he could be sitting across any entertainer and continue to refuse because it's not his tree and he's not on trial.
Okay. All right, Tony. How was the one? Please give me a second chance, huh, Tony? You do that, please. You give me a second chance. I give you $10 million, Tony. Okay. $10 million. I got it involved over there in Spain, Tony. We go over there. We get on a plane, and it's yours. Okay? What of it? $10 million. Okay, Tony? Huh? Please, Tony. Elvira! Elvira! You want Elvira! You're gonna have her. I go away, I'm gonna disappear, Tony. You'll never see me again.
Here it is. The gun is cocked and the target is set. They're coming for you. You can have my money, you can have my women, but you've already lost your money. You've already lost your women. If Tony takes the deal, he's got your $10 million and Elvira. This is 6ix9ine losing his freedom, his funds due to lawyer fees and lawsuits from promoters, and Elvira. She represents his significant other, his ability to be with his friends, his family, or you, his fans.
You'll never see me again, Tony. Please, I don't want to die. I never did nothing to nobody.
No, you never did nothing to nobody.
That's right.
You had somebody else do it for you.
No, Tony, come on. I'm begging you.
Get up! Jesus! Get up! No! Louis. Don't kill me, please. I ain't gonna kill you.
Oh, Christ, thank you.
Get up.
Thank you.
Manolo, shoot that piece of chip.
No!
Frank removing his armor is indicative of the artist hiding behind their image in court. This isn't me. It's entertainment. Just for attention. I meant no harm. I went to the Breakfast Club and denounced everything and everyone. I'm not Frank. I'm not the boss. Which is what every artist should do in that position. But your accounts will be drained and your loved ones will be lost, at least temporarily. Another interesting thing to note is Tony's arm. You'll notice that he's been shot. He's been met with his own consequences. This shows that the state isn't noble in its pursuit for criminals. The gunshot would represent the hypocrisy of the system, of the people, law enforcement, whatever entity that's trying to assert its power.
Every dog has his day. Amel?
I told him. Didn't make any sense clipping you when we had you working for us. You wouldn't listen. Got hot tonight. Not the broad, you know? Fucked up.
You too, Mel. You fucked up.
Don't go too far, Tony.
I ain't not, Mel. You are.
Akademiks may not realize this, but he has his own set of consequences because the public judges, maybe incorrectly, but it gets charged to your reputation nonetheless, your credibility. Joe Button, Star, my son are all represented by Tony. Think about what Mel does when he's met with this consequence. He excuses himself out of the situation by saying you cannot shoot a cop.
Can't shoot a cop. Whoever said you was one? Wait a minute.
Which to me means I'm not a street dude. Don't threaten me. Threaten someone else. I'm not involved in this. But the state is going to do what the state is going to do. Tony's response of whoever said you was one means he knows what a real cop is. We know what a real journalist is. Whoever said you was one. Don't hide behind something when it's convenient to you. Mel's badge or position is symbolic. He has no power in this room. The badge isn't equal to the gun. The media or academics can claim freedom of press. We can do what we want, public information, all they want. Mel is just as duplicitous as Frank, but thinks his position grants him a pass.
So long, Mel. Have a good trip.
Fuck you!
And as for Ernie,
What about Ernie?
he represents other rappers, Tekashi's competitors, who simply walk away with a warning.
You want a job, Ernie?
Sure, Tony.
Okay, then you call me tomorrow.
Hey, man, you got a job, huh?
Hey, Tony. Thanks. You know,